In this video, we're going to go over how to add a listing transaction into Paperless pipeline. So let's go ahead and log into the system. Once you've done that, it takes you to the home page. So let's go right on up here into the right-hand corner, and we're going to click on Add Transaction. And now we're just going to start filling in the details. So we're going to go here and either enter the transaction name or the property address. So I'm going to enter the property address for the listing agreement. And then here is where you would enter the MLS number or a transaction number. But if you've put it out there on the MLS, then go ahead and enter that number. And then at status, we're going to select listed. The label will then be sale. And then for listing date, we're going to go ahead and just put in the listing date that's on your listing agreement. We're going to act like today we have a fresh, hot off the press listing. And then under automatic expiration date, this is a really great field. If you go ahead and put in the expiration date, the system will keep track of it and it will send you a reminder as that date is approaching for you to go ahead and have, an amendment signed to extend or renegotiate with your seller. So it's just kind of a great little piece that the system will keep up with for you. Here under acceptance date, we don't need to worry about that, nor the close date at this point in the transaction. For more info, this is where you could just keep track of any notes that you might want to write down or jot down. You don't want to remember anything that might pertain to the transaction or the seller or the property, or if it's not listed in the MLS, this is a great place for you to put it and just say not in the MLS. That way we know on the compliance side not to be looking for an MLS printout. Great little place to just keep some details. Then we're going to go right on down here. We're going to enter in our seller information. When we don't have a buyer name, we do have our list price. The sales price, we don't know yet. We've not negotiated anything. Total commission, we understand that, at this point in the process, you're not really sure what that might be, so you don't have to fill anything in there just yet. Under commission summary, though, if you know that your seller has agreed that they're going to pay 6% in commission, and then you're going to give 3% of that to the buyer's agent, then you can go ahead and enter that information here. Just a little FYI that as the transaction is going on and as the transaction progresses, then this information you can edit, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a minute. And this information right here is very important that it be completed whenever we are ready and you're ready for us to create that CDA. We'll need all of these fields filled out, and I can show you how to do that here in just a little bit when you need to go back in and edit. But we're going to go right down here and we're going to assign ourselves to this transaction. Your name will only pop up once. Mine pops up a couple times just because I also have admin access. And then this is my training ID. So let me go in. We're going to hit add transaction. Now everything that we just entered shows up here. So this is kind of your landing page for your listing at 123 Main Street. So everything that we entered now populates over here. Let's go over this little left-hand menu. Right now we're in view transaction, so it's where you see all the details. This edit transaction, that's what I was telling you. As this transaction progresses, this is where you can go in and make changes and make edits. Or even if you're still just listed, but the seller is kind of getting eager and wants this property to move, and you've adjusted the list price and you've uploaded an amendment, then you can go in and change the current list price. But right here, just a quick overview. So once you are under contract and this thing is rocking and rolling, then you would just come down here, choose pending residential, and then you would go ahead and put in the acceptance date of your contract, the close date. This is very important because this does help us on the back end in the compliance side know that, hey, we've got some closings coming up. We need to make sure that, our compliance review is complete, and let's get those CDAs out to title. If there are any other details that have come up during the transaction, this is where you can go ahead and go back in and add them. But once you've got that contract executed, it's just a great idea to go ahead and get that added into the system and then go ahead and fill in these details. So you can go ahead and put the buyer name. This is where you can come down and you can put the sales price, and then any more commission information, or if things have been negotiated, you're going to give a rebate, or you're going to maybe give some money to a home warranty. This is a great place for you to communicate that to us. So any changes that you make, you just want to make sure that you click on Save Transaction. That way they will then populate right back onto your home screen. And then this next little field, Upload Docs. So you can either click on it from here, or if you go back into the View Transaction, right here in this blue bar menu is where you're going to see another Upload Docs. So you can just click on it. They both take you to the same place, so it's just user preference. Now, let's go in and add some docs. So we'll go ahead and add our listing agreement and the IABS. So you can either drag them, or if you have them saved on your computer, go find them. And let's go ahead and get those on over. You can rename it. So if it comes in as some, you've scanned it and it's like automatically named it all this crazy numbers and jumble, you can go ahead and rename it here if you want. And then over here in this permission category, so little insight, whenever it says listing, that's going to be anything that is signed between you and the seller. And then when it comes down to sale, that's going to be anything that's signed between the seller and the buyer. But these are our listing agreements and our IABS. So we're going to go ahead and choose listing, and we're going to go ahead and hit upload. Takes us back to our home screen, and here we go. So we can see that we have uploaded those two documents. And then right here, I just want to show you that whenever I went in and made that change, so I changed the status from listed to now we're pending, and it also just kind of keeps track of things down here for you. So you can kind of just see the synopsis of any history or any changes that are being made. You can also see it over here whenever, if you click on this transaction history, you can see it there as well. You can see when you've uploaded something and then if any changes have been made. I'll go over this assign docs and new offer and received emails more thorough in another video. I don't want to overwhelm you, just kind of want to give you a few key points to help get you going, and then we'll just give you some little bite-sized pieces of information as we go along. Here in the checklists, if you click on checklist, this is our communication tool between agent and compliance. So let's go ahead and go down. So we have listing, we're on the listing side, and this is a residential sale, just your traditional 1 to 4. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. Now it pulls up a checklist of documents that you need to have, and that may apply for your listing. So we know over here we have already uploaded our listing agreement. There's this handy little tool. So if you go right on up here, kind of into this upper corner of the checkbox, and when you click on it, it will put a little check mark. So that lets the compliance team know, like, hey, I have uploaded my listing agreement. We'll go right on down here and do the same thing for the IABS. So that just lets us know, like, hey, so the agent says that that's in here. Let's go find it. Let's review it, and let's mark it off. Now, if you know that something does not apply, let's say there is no on-site sewer, then if you hit shift and click, it will pull up this little box, and you just hit this not applicable, and it will mark it out. So then compliance knows, like, oh, there's no on-site sewer, don't need to be looking for that, and we just move right on along. And so just kind of a handy little tool that, again, just helps compliance communicate with the agent, and allows the agent to communicate with the compliance that, these docs are in here, these docs are not needed. And then if it's still looking like this and compliance hasn't marked it off, then you know that we still need it, or we're looking for it. And that just kind of lets you know that you need to either communicate with us or give us an update. And we can do the same with you. We refer to this checklist a lot just because it is such a helpful tool, just kind of, keeps things out there in front of you, like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I have this, or I don't have this, and this doesn't apply. Like I said, it's super easy for you guys to just mark it off if it doesn't, and then we know not to be looking for it. So that's just kind of a brief, quick overview on how to get your listing in there. Again, we do recommend that we do these things in phases. So, shortly after you've got your brand new listing and you've had time to get it into the MLS and stuff, we just really appreciate taking a few minutes to just get it into a paperless pipeline so that we can begin the review process and we can start communicating with you to make sure that we have everything that we need on this side. You have everything that you need on that side so that we're ready as soon as you get a contract executed that we can start the next phase. So just stay tuned. We'll keep going over different trainings and different videos in Exploring Paperless Pipeline.